I'm going to tell you my complete story, unfiltered, uncensored, no script, all of my ups and downs, and all of the lessons I've learned along the way to become the person that I am today. So my childhood was kind of normal. I was like a normal kid. I was always obese for some reason because my family didn't really take care of, or they didn't care about eating healthy. So I was just like always eating junk food and stuff like that. And as a kid, you don't think about like healthy foods, right? So I was just like eating everything that I could, like chocolate and crisps in the evening. I had like some dinner and then I also had like a dessert and all of that stuff. And after some time I got obese. I always used to play Minecraft with my little brother or like other games. Like I still remember the first time I received a DS. I saved up like 30 bucks and I went to the local store to buy a DS. You know, like these gaming consoles that you can hold inside of your hand. Basically the thing before the Switch. And I bought like a Lego game, like a pirate Lego game, and I just played it for hours a day. And I was always a big fan of video games. I also played Minecraft with my brother. I played competitive games later on. And I was also outside a lot with my brother. We were like jumping on a trampoline, going swimming, stick fighting, discovering our garden. And that was like the most fun time of my life. And at school I was always like a good kid. Like in elementary school, I had a few friends. My most favorite friend was like a retard. He was literally retarded and I was his only friend. So I was always helping him and I kind of knew that I liked to help other people. And, I never really got into trouble. I was always like being a good boy. Sometimes I was fighting with other guys, like in a playful way, as you do as a kid, especially as like a young boy. You like to like play stick fight or tackle or, ticker, all of that stuff. And that's what I did. And it was a pretty normal life, just like playing video games, going to school and learning and stuff like that. And my family was also completely fine. Like I never had I never experienced like real poverty. I never experienced like something really bad. I always got everything that I wanted and it was quite good. Until the point where my dad had a car crash and he almost died. I still remember the day. It was summer holidays. I was at home watching TV and my mom got a phone call. We were watching a movie together and she got a phone call from the work where my dad used to work at. And they said, yeah, his motorcycle got into a car crash and he's now like, in bad conditions. So my mom instantly started to cry. She told us, she told her kids, so me, my brother, and my sister, and she instantly like drove to the location where the car crash happened. And she was away for a couple of hours and I didn't really know what happened. Like I was just like thinking about, okay, is my dad dead now? Is he gonna die? Like how bad is he injured? And my sister's boyfriend at that time came back home and took care of us. We watched like a movie and he tried to distract us. He cooked some food, which was really nice. In the evening my mom came back and then she told me that my dad was stuck under the car for 30 minutes. So basically he was driving with his motorcycle. A car crashed into him. Then he went under the car and he got stuck under the car. The car driver, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with him, but he didn't notice that my dad was under his car. He continued to drive for like another like 50 meters. So my dad was like on the ground getting like dragged with him. And then as he noticed, he immediately stopped. And my dad was stuck under the car for like 30 minutes until the police could like get him out. They had to like push the car up or like cut it in half so they can drag him out. And when they lifted up his helm, it was all like bloody. He almost like suffocated because his teeth and his like the blood and everything was in his throat and he couldn't swallow because he was unconscious. Then he got then he went to hospital by a helicopter. So they put him into a helicopter and flew him to a hospital which was far away because he was in such a bad condition that they need to like have a specific specific thing so they can do the operation. So he went like far away to a different hospital, not close to me. And yeah, as I heard that information, I was like completely shocked and I was like just feeling really bad and down and I had like a lot of anxiety and I think that sparked something in me, like some mental trauma or something like that, because I didn't know that if my dad is gonna survive. And I knew that he was in hospital and I knew that people are going to take care of him, but I still didn't know if he's going to survive and how bad or how different the life is going to be after his car crash. And that evening, as always, I played some video games. I still remember to play like a video game on my phone. It was about like driving a car into like zombies and then killing them. You probably won't know which game I'm talking about. It was quite popular. And watching a movie. I believe it was a movie about like Greek philosophy or something like that. And a few weeks later, he came back and he had some like iron steel inside of his back because his spine got crushed. And fast forward, now everything is fine. But back then it was like a traumatic event. And as the summer holidays ended, I had to go to a different school. So I finished elementary school for 4th grade. So I went there for 4 years and then had to go to the next school. So 5th grade until like 13th grade. And I decided to go to like the highest school in my area where like all the popular and, you know, smart people go. And the teacher said that my grades aren't good enough and that I'm gonna have some trouble. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can do this. And then as I went there, you know, like video gamer, chubby kid with crooked teeth, I got bullied heavily. Like every single day was like complete hell. I remember going there for like the first time and just being an outsider. Like no one liked me, no one, you know, wanted to be friends with me because I looked so different. I was like obese and I had crooked teeth and I had no confidence and no social skills and nothing. I was just like a 10-year-old kid. So I was just left out, and I saw these other guys like grouping up to become like friends and have like a good friend group. I was just always alone, walking around as a schoolyard, eating my lunch. And you know, after some time, people started to notice that I was always alone. They started to notice that I'm always looking down. Like my head was always down. I never looked like someone into the eye. I was always looking down into the ground. And I was an easy target. And obviously, they started to bully me. They started to bully me because of my looks, because of my crooked teeth, and I used to be like really ugly. And also because of my obesity and because of the type of clothes I wore. And because I was always alone and I had no confidence, I didn't have anything to, like, I couldn't fight back. I was such an easy target, so they just started to pick on me. And I was 10 years old and like a group of like 16, 17-year-old guys came up to me, pushed me around, they stole my lunch money, they stole also my lunch box. Because they said I can't eat any food anymore because I'm already obese. So they stole my food and ate it instead. One time I remember, you know, in the winter there's like a slippery surface on the playground. And we were just like playing, you know, football or something like that, or ice hockey. And I slipped and my pants ripped apart where my crotch was. And everyone started to laugh at me. And they were like, you're so fat, you can't afford pants that fit you. And when you slip, they instantly break down and all of that stuff. And I just like remember the feeling of being super embarrassed, walking into class with like a hole in my crotch. And everyone could see like my underwear. And I still remember like the type of underwear that I wore back then. It was like gaming underwear. It was like a Minecraft underwear. That was super uncomfortable. Especially because I was already 10 years old. And you know, when you hit puberty, I hit it with like 10 and a half. Like you kind of already know that, you know, you want to be perceived as high value, or you want to attract girls and stuff like that. But this just completely destroyed like the image that I try to represent of being like, you know, I'm like ugly, but I still want to get girls and I'm still like a good, nice guy. That completely destroyed like my reputation. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. I got pushed in front of a driving bus, and the bus driver luckily stopped. Otherwise, maybe I would have been injured. Maybe the bus would have hit me and I would have been dead. And I also remember one time a guy spat in my face at the bus station, and I was just like completely shocked, and I was like super disgusted of the fact that I have someone else's spit in my face. And I went home, as always, and my mom opened the door, and usually she gave me like a kiss on the cheek. But that time, I told her, please don't kiss me, someone spit in my face. And she was like super shocked and was like, what the fuck, why? And then she kind of forgot about it. I just went upstairs, and as I did for years, I just went into my bed, grabbed my most favorite teddy bear. I still have the most favorite teddy bear today. Let me grab it. I grabbed this teddy bear and I was just like cuddling with it for like hours. I didn't do anything. I was just like in bed talking to my imaginary friend and trying to escape from this sad reality. And the most fun thing that I did back then was basically just like sleeping, because when I was sleeping I could escape from my problems. You know, when you're sleeping you don't think, you don't experience pain, you just like it's similar to being dead. So I just try to sleep as much as possible and try to escape into like a virtual world which I've made up in my head, like a construct in my head of talking to my teddy bear, and there's like everything in that land, in that construct in my head, everything is fine. After some time it didn't work anymore, so I started to play video games more and more and more. I always used to play video games like Minecraft and stuff like that, but as I was a kid it was more like because of fun. it was like the most fun thing, like either going outside with my brother, playing in the schoolyard, or in the garden, or playing video games with my brother. Those were like the most fun things that I could do back then. And after some time, I tried to escape into video games instead of just like having fun playing video games. And I played like 8 hours, sometimes even 14 hours a day of video games. I used to play, from Minecraft. I switched to my PlayStation 4 as I got it on Christmas Eve, and I was like super excited to get it. I was like crying. This was like the best present that I've ever received, a PlayStation 4. And I plugged it into my TV, I set all the cables up, and after some time I figured out how I could get access to the internet. And I was like playing Fortnite secretly. Like Fortnite was the first online game that I played. And I was playing it secretly, and after some time my mom found out, and I had to tell her that it's not that bad. And then I switched from Fortnite to a game called Paladins. It's basically like Overwatch, where it's like a hero shooter. You have like teams and different characters with different like abilities and different cards and different decks that you can use and different items that you can buy to make your character stronger. And you fight like 5v5 in like a payload game. So you have to capture like a zone, and then when you capture the zone, so either you or the enemy captures the zone, and then there's like a payload which spawns, and you have to bring the payload into the enemy base, and then you basically win the game, or you do that for like 2-3 rounds and then you win. And I got super competitive in that game. I played like 12 hours a day. I was like a 12, 13-year-old kid. And after some time, people started to notice me because I used to play ranked. And when you win in the game, you rank up your rank, and you could go to something called Grandmaster. Grandmaster is like the top 100 players. And I used to be in Grandmaster almost every single season. I was always in like the top 100, so people started to notice me. And then I got introduced to the esports scene. And I joined a team, and I was basically just like playing DPS. So I was playing like the damage dealer. And because I was just like a 13-year-old kid, and I used to play with like guys that are like 20 years old, some of them didn't accept me to their team. Some of them like became my friends, but because I was such a bad human, they kicked me out. Like every single time that I died, I was shouting at my teammates, I was insulting them, I was just like being a very bad person, and soon my reputation in that game got worse and worse and worse, and I was known as like the toxic 13-year-old kid that's better than everyone but a dick, and you don't want to be around that guy. So I played that video game for like 4 or 5 years, and after some time I stopped playing competitive and I switched to other games, but I always escaped into like video games to get away from my problems. And after going to the school for 1 year, where I got heavily bullied, I transferred over to a different school. My mom took me out of that school to go to a different school, and I had to start over again. New people, new environment, new school, new teachers, all of that. And back then, it was a lot better. I didn't get bullied anymore, but I was still like the outsider, because I was like obese and ugly, and I was just not fitting in with the normal people. So I then befriended another guy from my old class who was also obese, and we became like best friends for like 2 years. Nothing really exciting happened back then. I just played video games until like I was like 13, 14, 15, and sometimes hanging around with my obese friend, and like trying to write good grades. That's it. But then when I was 15 years old, something very interesting happened. I discovered like an artist called Scarlord, and he does like rap with metal, so he mixes rap with metal, and I still like him to this day. And back then I used to listen to a lot of music again to deal with my problems, to escape and or distract myself from my problems and my anxiety. Because when I was like 15 years old, because like all of the traumatic events that happened before, so my dad almost dying, getting bullied at school, and just like escaping into video games, and even there like getting bullied, my social skills got terrible, my mental health got terrible, everything got terrible, my looks, and I was just eating junk food, and I got addicted to porn, and I had like a lot of anxiety. I developed a generalized anxiety disorder during my childhood, which is still here today. Like I still feel anxiety in my gut right now. Actually right now it's quite bad. Usually it's like in the past few weeks it was quite good, but right now it's quite bad. I don't really know how, maybe because I'm talking about this and being very open. So yeah, a major shift happened back then. Because of the guy that I was listening to, Scarlord, I was like super inspired by his message, and it was like so aggressive, and he was like inspiring me, and he was like talking about his great life and his money and girls, and I knew I wanted to be like that. I always had this drive inside of me, this competitive drive to become something great. That's why I played those video games, and I leveled up inside of the video games instead of in real life. And he wear like a certain style which is called tech wear, so it's like all black clothes, it's like with straps and with chains and like kind of edgy, kind of emo-ish. And back then, because I was kind of emo, and my mental health was really bad, and I was like identifying myself with these kind of things. I wanted to wear that as well. So I went into a subreddit and I asked someone, it was a Scarlett subreddit, and I asked someone, okay, I want to wear Scarlett's clothes, I want to like buy his clothes. He has like a brand called Doom Life, which I'm still wearing today, but I'm too scared to go outside with these clothes, and I'm too scared of someone will judge me. And then one guy sent me a video which has changed my life forever. I wish I could like go back to this message and thank the guy for sending me this video. It was a video of Hamza Ahmed, the self-improvement YouTuber that probably now everyone knows. It was a video about like building confidence and social skills, and as well as like a complete guide to being a teenager. And he sent me that guide and I started to look at it. Back at that time I was just like consuming normal YouTube videos, like video games and reviews of some stuff and like drama and entertainment content instead of educational content. But the guy that sent me the video completely changed my life forever. I started to watch the like full Hamza guide, and I was like completely blown away of, you know, discovering self-improvement for the first time. Everything I knew was porn, junk food, video games, and getting bullied, and having bad family circumstances. And he opened up this new realm of possibilities of, there's gratitude journaling, there's meditation, you can make progress, there's like mindset, there's productivity, there's mental health, there's going to the gym, there's building muscles, there's getting girls, there's building confidence, all of these different stuff. And then it clicked in my brain and was like, damn, I can change, and I have to change, because I was rock bottom. My life was terrible because of the actions that I did for 5, 6, 7 years of playing video games and eating junk food and jerking off. And I didn't know that as a kid, but then I woke up. It flipped the switch in my head. And I was like, okay, if I continue to play video games, if I continue to eat junk food, if I continue to watch porn, I'm not gonna make it. I'm going to end up killing myself. And I still remember a day, which was a few days before discovering Hamza and self-improvement, that I was typing into Google how to kill myself the easy way without pain. I literally typed it into the Google search bar because I was looking for a way to kill myself without experiencing much pain. Luckily, I took the right step towards greatness and I started my self-improvement journey. And since then, my life has completely changed. Forever. The whole reason why you see me right now is because of that guy that sent the video to me a few years ago. 2 years ago to be exact. And then, from then, everything like fell into place. I cut out my bad habits. I failed countless of times, you know, like I sometimes still eat junk food now. And it took me over 1 year to get rid of my porn addiction. It took me over 2 years to get rid of my video game addiction, but I was like fighting and fighting and fighting. And the first step that I took to improve myself was actually losing weight, going to the gym with a friend. And I was super anxious. I was super anxious to sign up and step inside of the gym. I still remember the fear and anxiety that I had back then. And every single time that I went there, I experienced like multiple panic attacks. And I was just like looking to the mirror and seeing that my body has changed, that I lost a bit of weight. And yeah, then I lost a bunch of weight and I saw that I was still skinny fat. And then I was like, damn, you're skinny fat. What do I have to do now? And then I started to build muscle. And that's basically at the stage where I'm at right now with my like gym journey. I'm building muscle. I'm like quite good looking now. Like I know I'm not like the best looking guy, but I've certainly made progress and I'm proud of that. And I'm able to attract girls and all of that good stuff and have a above average body for my age, which I'm very proud of. I started to cut out all of my bad friends, all of my Discord friends. I still talk to some of them until this day, but not about video games, just like catching up with life and like, you know, just speaking about life and telling them about my journey and they're telling me about their experiences, because some of them were actually like good, genuine people, but they were just holding me back, like asking me, hey, come on, hop on video games, like you want to call, you want to watch something, and I just had to let go of that. Oh, I'm experiencing a lot of anxiety right now. And back at that time, before I was like really into self-improvement, I often thought that I was gay for some time because I got heavily influenced by the people that I saw online. I was best friends with like a trans guy or trans girl. I believe she's a girl right now. I don't know. And I thought I was gay. And that's like a very weird thing to think about now, because now I'm trying to be like this masculine guy and, you know, I'm on self-improvement, and back then I thought I was gay because of the people that I got influenced by. And this just shows the importance of thinking critically and making up your own mind instead of just blindly following someone else's advice or getting influenced by the people that you spend your time with, especially at a young age, because that sets the tone for the rest of your life if you don't wake up. So I improved myself, I improved my looks. It took me like years to get to the point where I'm right now, the last like 2 years of like failing every day, learning every day, and then improving slowly over time. I started to meditate and gratitude journal every single day. I started to work out every day. I started to, read books, and then something again clicked in my mind. I can't tell you what happened, but it's just like a force told me to do it, to record my first YouTube video, which is like a year and 3 or 4 months ago now. And I was just like, okay, damn, I will try it out. But I was procrastinating to start for like another year. I always knew, like when I was 15 years old, before my self-improvement journey, I knew like, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur. And I used to ride with a guy called Official Rich Teen. He's actually a very successful guy now, and he's basically very popular in the German dropshipping space. He's called Official Rich Teen, and I used to write him DMs on Instagram because I wanted to join his program, his course, and I wanted him to coach me because I think back then he was doing like a coaching call for free, and I really wanted to be like an entrepreneur. But then, I just stopped and I tried something else. I tried like an Instagram alpha male theme page where I was like posting clips of like Andrew Tate and stuff like that. That was like 2 years ago. And one of the clips actually went viral and it got 3.8 million views, and that account got like 3,000 subscribers. But then I just stopped because I didn't have any motivation, and like I was just developing and trying to find out my skills. And then again, something clicked in my brain and I started to record my first video. I was super anxious. I was procrastinating for over a year. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I didn't know all of the things that I'm doing now. But I just had to start somewhere. And a thing that I realized, like with everything, is that you just have to start. And you just have to start somewhere. The first time that I was working out, I was super anxious. I didn't know what I was doing. My form was shit. My body was shit. But everything figured itself out by just like doing consistently for a long amount of time. Same thing with YouTube videos. I have recorded videos every single day for over a year, and I'm just at 500 subscribers. But I'm okay with that. Like, of course, it sucks that I've put like thousands of hours into this and I've got nothing out of it. But it's not about the money. It's about the skills that I've learned along the way. I met amazing people. I've discovered myself and discovered, like, I'm learning so much new stuff about myself and the world every single day. And it's just amazing. And all of this process took a long time. Like, I would probably watch this video in a year and would think, what the fuck were you talking back then? Or how were you talking back then? Like, your body language was shit. Your, like, storytelling was shit. And back then you only had like 500 subscribers, and look at you now you have 5,000 and you make a lot of money with your business. But yeah. Then I got into self-improvement and I started to record videos. And also at that time, I was together with my first girlfriend, which was like a completely new thing. That was like a very big win in my life to get my first girlfriend, because I always was this ugly, alone, fat, completely disgusting, crook teeth kind of kid that no one wanted to talk to. But then I improved myself, I improved my looks, I improved my body, I improved my style, and then a girl came up to me at a train station, my ex-girlfriend. She came up to me just telling me that she likes my style and she thinks that I'm cute. And of course, the idiot that I was back then, I was completely like, damn, a girl likes me for the first time. So I ended up speaking with her. I already had like some charisma and some, I already knew kind of how to talk to girls because I watched a bunch of self-improvement videos. And I was also like quite confident back at that time. So I just asked her for a number. I got her number, we started talking. That was during the summer holidays 2 years ago, and we started to meet up. She was living like 70 kilometers away, so 2 hours by train. And we just met up, we talked, and after 2 months we got together. And I was super proud. I would still remember like writing all of my Discord friends, like my old gaming friends. Damn, I got a girlfriend, like look at me boys. I made it. And I was super happy, I was super blessed. And yeah. We were together for like 7 months, and it was the first time that I experienced, like intimacy, love. And I won't get into too much detail, but it was quite fun at the start, to like do stuff and to experience all of this. And you like to walk around and hold hands and like go to nice places, and to like go into my first date and I'm able to buy her food and she's eating because I'm providing for her. Like kind of this like masculine energy. I know it sounds cringe, but back then it was the first time that I experienced like being a leader and protecting and providing for someone, which was amazing. But after some time, my mental health just got worse and worse and worse because I used to be very attached to her. I was very dependent on her to feel good. And we could only meet each other during the weekends because she was living so far away and she was living in a care home. And after some time, I just outworked myself out of her league. I continued to like go to the gym every single day, record videos every single day, meditate every single day, gratitude journal every single day, and she stayed the same. I was climbing mountain after mountain after mountain, and she stayed the same. So I just looked back and I was like, damn, we were together for 7 months, and I was a completely different person at the end of the relationship, and she stayed the same. Like, of course, she doesn't have to be on self-improvement or anything. I hope she's doing great. I hope and wish her the best. And because she had a lot of troubles with like mental health, and also she was smoking weed, which I was not a big fan of. And then we broke up because another life-changing event happened. My mom is like taking heavy medicine because she has like a lot of injuries and diseases. It's not her fault, but she's very unhealthy. So she took these very hard medication pills, and some of them were missing. I believe like 30 pills were missing, and she instantly suspected me and was like, damn, Marlon, you stole the pills, you sold them, you took them yourself. And she looked through my whole room to find them. She searched through all of my clothes, all of my pockets to find them. She didn't find anything. And then the only conclusion that I had left to rely on was, okay, damn, my girlfriend stole them, because my girlfriend had a past with drug abuse. And then we broke up at that day because I was like, okay, someone stole these pills. If my mom is not lying, it wasn't me, it wasn't anyone else. It can only be you. And I'm not even sure until today if she actually stole the pills. But I'm glad that this happened because I'm kind of glad that I broke up with her. It was a bad relationship. It was my first relationship, and I'm grateful for all of the experiences, and I had some amazing times. But it was terrible for my mental health. It was terrible for me to rely on someone else to feel good. And if you only see the person once a week, you only have like 1 day a week where you feel good, and throughout the week I was just feeling terrible. From Monday to Friday going to school, I was like completely boring and dreading, and then on Saturday I could finally see her, I could finally ejaculate like a little monkey, I could finally go out and eat and have some fun. And then I just had to wait like another week, and I didn't want to do that anymore. And of course, like I said, I improved myself, she didn't. So we broke up. I felt terrible for like 2 weeks, because I knew I was like the anchor, or like the angel that saved her. I got her away from alcohol and other drugs, and I improved her life. Like, her mental health was a lot better because of me. At least that's what she told me. That was my perception of how things worked out. So I was like improving her mental health, and my mental health just suffered through her. So I just had enough, you know. And when I broke up with her, I went to the gym. I called my bro and we went to the gym, and I have hit the hardest workout ever. After that, I went back to his home and we were like eating some food. I couldn't even lift the fork to my mouth because my biceps, triceps, my arms were so destroyed by the gym workout, which was like crazy, you know. And yeah, that was a very nice experience. Then for a couple of months, I was just like, you know, still on self-improvement, but I was also like kind of fucking around, you know, like I was going to parties. I wasn't drinking, but I was like smoking and, you know, just doing some stupid stuff with other guys that are not really my friends and that I didn't even like, but I just wanted to like have the feeling of, you know, kind of just distracting myself, but also the feeling of fitting in. And because I improved my looks, because I improved my style, and because I improved my grades and all of that stuff, suddenly like more girls were interested in me and more guys wanted to speak to me. So I kind of slipped into like the popular kids scene for a couple of months. And then I decided to start kickboxing because I always wanted to kickbox. I always wanted to like, you know, do something. I always loved martial arts. Like as a kid, I always watched like the Karate Kid movies and Rocky movies, and I loved them. So I wanted to kickbox as well, especially because all of my online idols, which were like my only friends back then, you know, like Hamza, Firstman, Andrew Tate, all of them told me to like, yeah, you have to do martial arts if you want to be a man. And I was like, my 16-year-old self was like, well, 17-year-old self, so a year ago was like, yeah, damn, of course, let's go. So I signed up to my kickboxing lessons, and it was fun. I got completely humbled. I thought I can fight, but I couldn't. And I got punched in the face. I got completely destroyed, and I got better and better and better. And then I realized that there was a guy who I was friends with as a child, and we became friends again. He introduced me to a completely new friend group, and that's where I met like one of my best friends now, and also where I met my girlfriend and a bunch of other people. So I went there, it was just like a normal evening, we were like drinking and smoking, and then those two girls came there, my girlfriend and my girlfriend's sister, and she had a date with a different guy, and I just started talking to her, and we instantly came along quite well because we had the same interests. We had the same interest of music, and back then I already knew how to talk to girls, and I was like, okay, we have to find something similar. So she likes me, and then I was like, okay, you like Slipknot, you like this band, you like metal, yeah, me too, yeah, let's go. And then the other guys were like starting to play basketball, and I didn't want to play basketball at all. So I saw the girl sitting there, which is now my girlfriend. I saw her sitting there, and I sat next to her, and we just started talking about life and a bunch of different stuff. She showed me her drawings. She's super amazing at drawing. I told her about my life. She told me about her life, and it just instantly clicked. It was like a very flowing and nice and natural conversation. And the thing that really, really surprised me was that she said, your goal should be your top priority, and I should be your second priority. And that was basically like the reason why I'm together with her now. This one sentence. Because I read like a book about masculinity called The Way of the Superior Man, and I kind of knew, okay, I have these goals of like making money right now, or back then at that time it was building muscle. Now it's making money. This is my top priority, and my girlfriend comes second. Because if I don't work towards my goals, everything else crumbles. I feel terrible, I can't be masculine, I'm annoyed, and all of that stuff, and I'm not achieving anything great for my family or for my future. So my goal has to be top priority number one. And she said that. And I was like, damn, she's a feminine, cute girlfriend. Or a feminine, cute girl, I have to get together with her. So fast forward, we met up a couple of times, we had our first date. She actually had a first date because I'm her first boyfriend, which is again is an amazing sign, because she used to be a virgin, which is amazing, because it just like disgusts me to think about her sleeping with someone else before me. So I was like a first partner, and I'm still a first boyfriend, which I believe is amazing. We went on the first date, it went amazing, we just talked about a bunch of stuff. I paid for the food, I was like a gentleman. I still remember it was like super hot in the summer, I was sweating, she was sweating, she looked amazing. I was like wearing a very tight white shirt, and yeah, we just talked about life and stuff like that, and then I invited her to my home. We went into my room, and we were just like sitting there on the edge of the bed for like a couple of minutes until I was like, okay, she likes me, I like her, I have to take the first step. So I started to lay down on the bed, and I just told her to like, yeah, come with me. And she just like laid next to me, and then we started to cuddle and like talk about life. And after some time, I just like, she was telling me that she loves me, and I was like, damn, you know, I wasn't expecting that. And it's kind of a weird thing to, I don't know, like, what is love? Like, you kind of know when you like someone, and I like my girlfriend, but what is love? Like, I know that I want to spend time with my girlfriend, I know that I want to spend my future with her, but what is love? And I was just like saying, yeah, I was waiting for like 20 seconds, and she was like really insecure because I didn't say it back immediately, but I was just like thinking, okay, what is love? And then I just said like, I love you too, to not make her feel uncomfortable. And I do really mean that, I do really love her, but it's like this weird feeling, and it's different for everyone. So it was kind of hard for me to like grasp in my mind. And then we got together. And that was like 8 months ago. We're together for 8 months now. It's an amazing relationship. I'm able to work, and I'm more productive than ever because I want to take care of my family and her in the future. And she's giving me the mental space to work. And on the weekends we meet up and have like a nice time, going on walks, going on dates, speaking, reading together. Sometimes we do like retard activities like watching movies and eating junk food, but I believe it's like all balance is like key, you know. Like sometimes I need to take some time off, and I'm not pretending to be productive 100% of the time. I still waste my time sometimes, and that's basically where I am right now. Like everything fell into place once I started self-improvement, and once that guy on Reddit sent me his Hamza video. Like I went from being a porn addict, junk food addict, video game addict, lonely, obese, ugly as fuck, to having a good body, improving my mental health, recording videos every single day, working on my business, having an amazing girlfriend, just because I took this one step and switched like my whole life around. And instead of like just consuming, I started to create. And thinking back of it now, it wasn't even like, it was super hard, but easy at the same time. Like back then it was like super hard to get rid of my porn addiction, and I still like I can still feel the pain inside of me once I like relapsed, and I was super like I felt super guilty and super disgusted at myself. But when I think about it now, it's like, it was super easy. Like, that was the easiest part. I believe, like, I'm entering the hard time right now. Like, fixing my bad habits and getting rid of my bad habits and getting a girlfriend and, you know, starting to record videos. I think that was the easy part. And I'm entering, like, a new era right now. I'm, like, transitioning into, like, my new self again. I went through the wall of fire for 2-3 years to become to the person where I am right now, and I want to evolve again, so I have to go through the same process, which will probably be even more painful right now. Because back then my goals were like, yeah, stop jerking off, stop eating junk food, get a girlfriend, and lose weight and build some muscle. I've got all those things now, and now my goals are even higher. Like, now my goals are 10k a month. Like, in 3 years I want to look like a jacked bodybuilder, not like a bodybuilder, but have like a really aesthetic body, like 12% body fat, which I'm actually close to now. And have like a decent amount of muscle, which I actually have right now, so I can probably achieve the goal within the next year probably. But I have these super high goals now, and I developed so much that I just completely changed myself, and I went away from the mainstream self-improvement advice to this like spirituality next level advice. Like, I know about meditation now, I know about journaling, I know about, you know, confidence, attracting a girlfriend, good style, going to the gym. Like, that's basically what everyone's talking about. Just, you know, make a bit of money, get a girlfriend, build a good body, and don't do stupid stuff. That's like basically self-improvement summed up in one sentence. But once you achieve those things, you realize, damn, there's so much more. There's so much more, and that's basically, like I said, is the stage where I'm right now. Trying to make more money, trying to understand the world and myself better, trying to get into spirituality and philosophy, and trying to understand how humans work, how we work as like a species, and a bunch of like universal laws. I'm not religious or anything, but it's like really interesting to think about all these concepts. And that's basically the path that I'm heading to now. Just working like 12 hours a day if I don't have to go to school. If I'm going to school, I come home at like 15 o'clock. Now it's 18 o'clock, and I'm just like eating, and then I sit down to record videos and work on my business and talk to guys inside of my community, and everything is going fine. So a couple of takeaways that I want you to think about from my journey. First of all, the small changes make the big improvements over time. Just like the small decision of cutting junk food out of your life will make you a completely different person in 5 years. Second of all, you just have to start. Like, you just have to start. You just have to start to record your first video. You will find problems along the way, and then you fix them along the way. You just have to start to approach girls, and eventually you will get better. You get better by doing it, not by learning. Don't start learning, start doing, and then learn along the way. Another thing that I want to say is that most things will figure itself out. And the problems that you have right now won't matter in 5 years. Back then I had the problem of like getting bullied. The problem basically fixed itself once I went to the gym and started to lose some weight. And you will also realize that the people that you surround yourself with are basically insignificant. Like, you should be a generous person, you should care for them, and you should try to give them value and be a nice person. But what they say about you and what you think about them, it doesn't matter in like a year. I don't know, I'm not talking to anyone anymore that used to bully me or that I used to be friends with. It doesn't matter. I moved to a completely different city. And another thing that I want you to know is that focus on what you can control. I know this advice is like very basic, but it is so true. Because a lot of things happen in your life that you cannot control, and things are going to happen that you cannot control. My grandpa died a few months ago, cannot control it. I moved to my grandma, she kicked me out. I can't control it. Now I had to move back to my mom into a different house, and they moved. I can't control it. But you have to focus on what you can control, which is being a nice person, being generous, and working on yourself. And another thing that I want to add is that if you're on self-improvement, I'm very proud of you and that you will make it. But don't forget to also take care of other people. Because think about it, the only thing that we really have is human connection. Like, if you have no one to share your goals with, you wouldn't do anything. You like you say, you're doing self-improvement for yourself. You're doing it because you want to attract girls, or you want to increase your status, or you want to increase your wealth, so other people are like, damn, this guy is like successful or whatever. So you're not really doing it for yourself. You're improving yourself to get some validation of other people. But it's very important that you don't forget to take care of other people as well. And once you fill your cup, which I have done, basically, you fill the cup of your brothers, you fill the cup of other people. So that is basically why I'm creating this YouTube channel, or this video, to give back my experience to you so you can learn from it. And I have filled my cup. I have improved my body. I got a girlfriend. I'm making money with my online business. I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff, and I'm continuing to improving myself. And I have so much more to learn. Like, no question. But I feel like my basic needs, I feel like I've made already like this much progress. And I can share with you this much progress, and I can give this back to you, and you should do the same. No matter if you have made this much progress or no progress at all, or you've made this much progress. Life is like a lifelong problem-solving journey, and I want you to give back to people and share your solution to the problems that you have solved. You don't have to do this by creating a YouTube channel. You can just do that by being nice and generous to other people, giving back to other people, trying to help them, and actually, like, it can be as simple as just like literally listening to someone or ask them how they are. Like back then when I was obese and ugly and fat and addicted to porn and video games and junk food, and I almost killed myself. I wish someone would have just like listened to me and my problems. And maybe you can relate to this, and you can be that person for someone else. You can improve someone's lives by just asking them how they are, or giving them a compliment, or just listening to them, or just being generous and nice, or doing something simple as buying them a coffee for $3 or $5. Because giving back to other people will make you more happier than spending everything on yourself. And that is the thing that I'm still struggling with, because I'm very selfish. I'm a very selfish person, and I don't mean that in a kind of bad way, but I'm very selfish in the sense of I put myself first, and I take care of myself first, and then I give back to other people. So, an example for this is when I'm with my girlfriend, we wake up in the morning, I give her a kiss, I tell her that I love her, I give her attention, but then she knows that it's time for me to grind. Like, she knows, okay, Marlon will take a cold shower now, Marlon will work out, and Marlon will probably go on a walk or start to work on his business after that. And I knew that she would love to spend more time with me, or that I would give her attention, but I knew that I have to put myself first, and I should take care of my stuff. So in the future, I can take care of everyone else's stuff. But don't forget to take care of everyone else's stuff along the progress, along the journey. Because I moved away from my family to focus more on myself, and I was more productive, but I was also kind of unhappier, because I was away from my mom, away from my brother, away from my family, away from my dog and my cat, and I kind of miss them. But I can balance self-improvement and improving myself and improving my business and making more money, building muscle, but still just like taking 10, 20, 30 minutes a day to eat with my family and to share some experiences and to share some values and to tell them that I'm grateful to have them, and I'm grateful for them cooking food for me. I'm grateful for this room that they've created for me, and that I'm grateful for everything and all of the circumstances. So that's basically it. That's my whole story. Those are like the most important insights that I've, learned throughout the years of self-improvement. And if you're watching this after 43 minutes, I really want to take some time to thank you and appreciate you. And if you agree with what I'm saying, if you can relate to my story, if you enjoy me, or like me as a person, you can join my community, Cautious Movement, where there are more people like me and you improving themselves, improving their mindset, productivity, and mental health without endless motivation or strict discipline. You can click the first link below this video to join. Thank you for watching, and please take action.